Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles, back again for another review. This time it's the Transformers Masterpiece MP-18 Plus Bluestreak, being of course the cartoon accurate repaint of the original Nissan Fairlady MP-18 mold. Now I did get this from Robot Kingdom because I knew that they were shipping out their MP-10G Ghostbusters Optimus Prime on the 26th of July, a few days ago. And I also knew that this was coming out around the same time, so I packaged them in the same order, and it took only 2 or 3 days for this to arrive from Hong Kong without even paying extra for expedited shipping. So that was really awesome by Robot Kingdom. And my MP10G review will be coming up straight after this, so hopefully you can subscribe and stay tuned for that. But this figure, if you follow the channel, you know that I do love the cartoon accurate repaints, particularly when they're in bot mode, and I have to say that this one here is definitely going to be a keeper in bot mode, not in the car mode. The car mode, as you can see, is a little bit bland, but we'll get to that shortly. Box, same usual stuff from the MP series. Package art on the back. Notice that there's a Bumblebee there, so I'm assuming that will probably be the last box art with the old MP21 Bumblebee, with MP45 coming out in September. I can't remember if it's September or October. It could be September, but with the MP19 Plus smokescreen coming out next year, I'm assuming if they show Bumblebee on that package art, it'll be the new one. But that's pretty much the artwork. Comes with the usual instruction manual, this time with of course the few extra things to cover the blast effects and the swap out faceplates, but everything else is pretty much the same. The card art you've seen before, love that classic static artwork, and this time of course in the cartoon accurate paint application, and that will give you an idea on what it looks like. And it is very nice in bot mode. Accessories wise, he comes with his blaster rifle, you see here. So this part here is painted, whereas the front part here is plastic. I think they did that on the MP-17 Plus Prow. I'm not sure why they don't just paint the whole thing. Would be much nicer, I think, if they just painted the whole thing. So that's a bit disappointing. And the paint here is actually a very nice metallic grey, so I'm not sure if it's coming up on the camera there, but it's the same, essentially the same grey as what's on the car, and it's not just a flat grey. It does have this sort of metallic speckling through it, which I think is quite nice. So it would have been nice if they did that consistently over the whole gun. These blast effects, I think these bigger knobs fit onto his shoulder cannons, but the smaller ones you can just take that off and then just not that one, I think maybe this one. This one's the longer one, so I think you just take that piece off, and then that doesn't fit on there. How does that work? Now I'm confused. Oh, maybe you swap it over, or maybe I should just read the instruction manual. Maybe you just stick it on like that. So there you go. I think you can get the blaster rifle and put that on there. I won't have it displayed in my collection with these blast effects. I guess they're a nice option for the odd photo here and there, but I think they are a little bit, I mean, they're pretty good for cartoon accurate scenes and so on, but I think they're a little bit tacky for display. Now, they do come with those 3 pieces, so a long one, a medium one, and a very short one, and it does come with this extra little piece. Now, I wasn't quite sure what that extra little piece was, and in the instruction manual it actually says that there's a reference to MP-44 version 3 of Optimus Prime, so I'm assuming he's going to be using this in some way, or you're going to need it to attach to something or some effect on that figure. So keep this in mind if you're getting this figure, or if you're getting MP-44 to hang out for this as well. The 2 face plates that it comes with the smiling one here and the shouting, screaming one. So you can't see too much without them being on the figure, So once I get this thing transformed, I'll show you guys the swap out faceplate. But I love that they're doing these just to give some more display options, and you know, break up the display a little bit, apart from all the stoic display of their faces. But here is the figure. Now I do have my MP-18, I think it was B, for the Diaclone Blue repaint, and the 18S toy accurate paint application. So I'll just zoom down here. So that will give you an idea of the comparison there. I do have the original MP-18 at the back in bot mode as well, so I'll do the comparison in bot mode. But overall, you'll know that you know, 18S here has this gorgeous sort of really shiny metallic silver. The MP-18B here, Bluestreak, the blue's beautifully done. The silver here is more of a matte silver, and both of them have that nice sort of shiny black wheels, whereas this guy here has the cartoon accurate sort of grey wheels, and this sort of white, almost off grey type colour, and then the darker shade of grey on the hood here, and the seal and the roof. Breaks it apart with this lighter grey at the front here, which again I think is cartoon accurate. They've almost got like 3 or 4 tones of grey. So there's this darker grey, medium sort of grey, then this in between sort of grey, and then the crotch piece here is just a tad slightly lighter. I'm not sure if that and this front piece are about the same, and then of course you've got the lighter shade being this grey here. And I'm not sure if it's picking up. I'll see if I can sort of catch the light, but you'll see that the grey just has that faint metallic speckling through it, which I think is quite nice. Overall, paint application wise, there aren't too many defects. I think I've got like a little weird dot at the front here, and I think I noticed a bit of a weird dot on the back here, right there. But other than that, it's pretty good. No other major scratches or anything. I'll wait to see what it looks like in bot mode to see if there's any issues there. But overall, it's all painted, so nothing's sort of unpainted plastic on the main parts of the body here. So I think they've done a pretty good job. In comparing it against the original figure, you'll notice that the original figure is a much darker sort of colouring. I'm not sure if that's really all that consistent with the original toy. Maybe it is, but you know, the grey parts here, it's almost like a bronzed metallic silver, as opposed to the silver streak here, which is definitely silver. And then the sort of really shiny black surface there. I did love that, almost like an ebony sort of black sheen to it, as opposed to this. So that is a bit of a difference, and that does look quite nice with the Fair Lady, the Z symbol there, and the head sculpt. I think the new head sculpt is definitely better, but you'll get a closer look at that when I get them into bot mode. But that's pretty much the differences, really. You know, I guess I've gone with the simpler rear headlights, etc., like they did with Prowl and so on. So I'll get him transformed now and give you guys a closer comparison in bot mode. Hold on. Alright, so here he is in bot mode, and thankfully it didn't take me as long to transform him as much as it did the recent Wheeljack. That took me almost an hour, but this one only took me maybe about 15-20 minutes, which is a much more reasonable time frame. But as you can see, the comparison against the original, there is a pretty marked difference in the paint application and the way that it looks. And I, for one, again, think that the new version is far better in bot mode. I think with the variation in tone, so you know, there's the light grey with the sort of darkish grey here, the medium grey, and then the light grey. I think it just contrasts a lot better overall than the quite fairly dark tones of the original. I think the original, I do like the glossy black, but I guess if they had put that glossy black on here, it probably would look quite a lot different. I think the blue windscreen and so on, the glass there, is also more cartoon accurate. So overall I think they've done a pretty good job in representing the way he looked in the cartoon with all of those various shades of grey. And I guess the other big difference, as you can see, I've already put the smiling face sculpt on. I took off the standard stoic face, which is just the usual one here, if I can actually focus. So there's the stoic face, and I think the option to swap those out and give a bit of emotion to the figure is a really much needed improvement to the figures. And I think the head sculpt there, you compare it against the original, it's almost just a tad larger, I think. And I think the side parts along here are definitely a bit more cartoon accurate as well, with those cheek guards there. I think I'm not quite sure if the original Bluestreak here was just a repaint of the prow head sculpt, but I think this new one is definitely far better. But that's pretty much it from a comparison perspective. I forgot to show you these shooting pieces with the end there. You don't even have to take that ball bit off, you just sort of plug it in there, and you can have him sort of shooting those things out of his shoulder cannons. But as I was saying before, I'm not going to do that. I might just swap out, just for argument's sake. You pretty much just get your fingernail on the top there. The head is a bit loose on the ball joint, so I think you just get your fingernail in there, and I can't. I'll do that off camera, hold on. Alright, I managed to get my fingernail in there and pry it off, so it comes off like so, and then you pretty much have that as the empty head, and you just sort of squeeze that in there like so, and there you have him with his screaming head sculpt. So no matter how you want to display it, I think you've got all the options with a stoic face, a smiling face, and this screaming face for whatever battle scenes or scenes you want to replicate from the cartoon. Just a quick sort of round on the comparison. As you can see, a much lighter shade. I do like the freckling throughout the light grey. It's not just a flat matte grey, which is nice. And I think from the rear again, a little bit cleaner, a little bit more cartoon accurate. So overall, if you're into this Plus line, and in keeping with some of the more recent MP releases, I think it definitely does suit the collection or match the collection a lot more. I haven't tried putting the weapons in his hands to see if there were any sort of alignment issues with the weapons. I think I had him being a lefter here, because putting it in the right hand just wouldn't align properly. So I'll have to see how that looks on the new one. But overall, that's pretty much it for a comparison. Hopefully you like that quick look at the new MP-18 Plus Bluestreak. As I was saying before, if you're into this line, definitely get it and have that in the car mode. I've got all the originals in their car mode, and they do look pretty fantastic with more of that realistic, real world look in car mode. But having both is the best of both worlds, so I'm definitely get into it if you're an MP fan. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully you can subscribe and stick around for the MP-10G Ghostbuster Optimus Prime review coming up next. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.